Introduction. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where the city's skyscrapers reached for the heavens, and the relentless pace of life seemed to leave no room for contemplation, there lived a young man named Ethan. Like many fresh graduates, Ethan stood at the precipice of a life-altering decision that would define his path in the world. The two divergent roads before him held vastly different promises. On one hand, there was the offer from a prestigious law firm, an opportunity that would shower him with wealth, prestige, and the prospect of a life of luxury. On the other hand, there was the calling from a non-profit organization, a chance to immerse himself in the world of social justice and dedicate his life to making a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. Ethan's dilemma was not a unique one. Many face the same crossroads, torn between the allure of financial security and the yearning for a more meaningful existence. But what set Ethan apart was his inner turmoil, the relentless tug-of-war between his desire for success and the unmistakable call of his conscience. In a world where the cacophony of ambition often drowns out the whispers of morality, Ethan found himself on the precipice of a profound choice. Would he be swayed by the gleam of material riches and a life of comfort, or would he heed the voice within, urging him to walk a different path, a path less traveled, fraught with challenges, but pregnant with the promise of genuine purpose and fulfillment? This is the story of Ethan, a story that transcends the boundaries of mere fiction, for it unfolds in the very fabric of our everyday lives, echoing the choices that each of us confronts at some point on our own journey. In 7 chapters, we will follow Ethan's footsteps as he navigates this intricate web of decisions, challenges, and sacrifices. It is a story that speaks to the heart of the human condition, exploring the depths of our aspirations and the choices that shape not only our destiny but also the world around us. Join us on this captivating and thought-provoking journey through Ethan's life, a journey that promises to be as realistic as it is inspiring, as it weaves a narrative that is both compelling and deeply relatable.
Chapter 1: The Decision. In the bustling heart of the city, where the rhythm of life seemed to pulse like a heartbeat, Ethan stood at the precipice of a decision that would chart the course of his life. Fresh out of college, he found himself in a situation that many could only dream of, a choice between two vastly different paths, each beckoning him with its own unique allure. The first option was a job offer from one of the city's most prestigious law firms. It came with a jaw-dropping salary, a corner office on the upper floors of a gleaming skyscraper, and the promise of a life filled with opulence. For Ethan, who had worked tirelessly through his years in law school, this offer represented the culmination of his academic endeavors. It was the culmination of years of hard work, sleepless nights, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. It was the culmination of a dream that society had often held aloft as the pinnacle of success. On the other hand, there was the second option, a job offer from a non-profit organization that operated on the fringes of the city, nestled amidst neighborhoods forgotten by the bustling city life. The salary it offered was modest, far from the riches he could amass in the corporate world. But it came with a promise of something more profound, a chance to make a tangible difference in the lives of those who needed it most. Ethan had always carried a sense of social responsibility within him, nurtured by stories of injustice he had heard from his parents and the empathy that was woven into his very being. The non-profit organization worked tirelessly to address issues of social inequality, providing legal aid to marginalized communities, and battling against the tide of injustice that often seemed insurmountable. As he stood there, contemplating the monumental decision that loomed before him, Ethan couldn't help but feel the weight of societal expectations pressing upon his shoulders. The allure of wealth, success, and the admiration of his peers pulled at him from one direction, while the call of his conscience, the desire to be part of something greater than himself, whispered softly from the other. In this moment, Ethan was not merely making a choice between two job offers, he was deciding who he would become in the grand tapestry of life. Would he succumb to the intoxicating embrace of materialism, or would he summon the courage to embrace a path less traveled, a path fraught with uncertainty and challenges, yet pulsating with the promise of genuine purpose? This was the crossroads where Ethan found himself, and little did he know that his decision would not only shape his own destiny but would also send ripples through the lives of many others, ultimately leading him on a journey of self-discovery and transformation.
Chapter 2: The Non-Profit Experience. With resolute determination, Ethan chose the path less traveled and accepted the job offer from the non-profit organization. As he stepped into the realm of social justice, he embarked on a journey that would redefine his understanding of the world and his place within it. His first day at the non-profit was vastly different from what he had imagined. Instead of a pristine corporate office with polished floors and towering glass windows, he found himself in a modest building tucked away in a neighborhood seldom frequented by the city's elite. The office hummed with activity, but it was the palpable sense of purpose that struck him the most. Ethan's role as a legal aid volunteer immersed him in the world of underprivileged communities. He spent his days helping individuals who had nowhere else to turn. He met families facing eviction, workers fighting for fair wages, and immigrants struggling to navigate the complexities of a new country's legal system. The work was demanding, and the hours were long. Ethan often found himself juggling multiple cases, each presenting its unique set of challenges. He had to learn to navigate a labyrinthine bureaucracy and confront systemic injustices head-on. What kept Ethan going, however, was the profound sense of fulfillment that came with each small victory. When he managed to halt an unjust eviction, secure fair compensation for a wronged worker, or help a vulnerable immigrant gain legal status, it was as if he had lit a beacon of hope in the lives of those he served. Chapter 2 marked the beginning of Ethan's immersion into the non-profit world. He learned that success was not measured in paychecks or job titles, but in the positive impact he could make on the lives of others. The people he encountered, their stories of resilience and determination, left an indelible mark on his soul. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Ethan's commitment to his newfound path grew stronger. He realized that he had a unique opportunity to be a voice for those who often went unheard, to champion their rights and fight for justice in a world that didn't always seem fair. In this chapter of his life, Ethan began to understand that the pursuit of a meaningful life could be as challenging as it was rewarding. The non-profit experience was a crucible where his ideals were tested, his convictions strengthened, and his heart opened wider than he had ever imagined. It was here that he began to forge his identity as a champion of justice, and little did he know that more significant challenges and profound transformations lay ahead in the chapters yet to unfold.
Chapter 3: The Challenges. Ethan's journey in the non-profit sector was far from a smooth ride. As he delved deeper into the complexities of social justice work, he encountered a series of formidable challenges that tested his resolve, resilience, and dedication. The first challenge was the sheer volume of cases and the overwhelming demand for legal assistance. The non-profit organizations served communities that were often marginalized and underserved, and the need for their services was staggering. Ethan often found himself working late into the night, trying to keep up with the ever-mounting caseload. The second challenge was financial. The meager salary offered by the non-profit was barely enough to cover his basic needs, let alone repay his student loans. Ethan faced the reality of living paycheck to paycheck, often making tough choices between necessities like rent, groceries, and transportation. Luxuries were a distant memory, and he began to appreciate the simple joys of life. The third challenge was emotional. Dealing with the profound injustices faced by the people he was helping took a toll on Ethan's emotional well-being. He listened to heart-wrenching stories of families torn apart, workers exploited, and individuals unfairly treated by the system. The weight of their pain and suffering was something he carried with him every day. Despite these challenges, Ethan refused to waver. His conviction in the importance of his work and the impact it had on real lives kept him going. He leaned on the support of his colleagues, who shared his passion and understood the sacrifices they were making together. Chapter 3 marked a crucial turning point in Ethan's journey. It was during these trying times that he truly understood the depth of his commitment. He learned that passion alone was not enough. It required unwavering dedication and the ability to navigate the often tumultuous waters of social justice work. As the months passed, Ethan's determination began to bear fruit. He started to see positive outcomes in some of his cases. Families were saved from eviction, exploited workers received fair compensation, and immigrants gained legal status. These small victories, though hard-fought, fueled his spirit and reminded him why he had chosen this path. Chapter 3 was a chapter of struggle and sacrifice, but it was also a chapter of growth and resilience. It was here that Ethan learned the true meaning of perseverance and the profound impact that even one individual could have on the lives of others. Little did he know that even greater challenges and moments of triumph awaited him in the chapters to come, as he continued to forge his identity as a champion of justice.
Chapter 4: The Transformation. Amidst the challenges and struggles of his work in the non-profit sector, Ethan's journey was undergoing a profound transformation. It was during this chapter of his life that he encountered a case that would touch his heart in ways he had never imagined. One fateful day, Ethan was assigned a case that involved Sarah, a single mother of 2 young children who was on the brink of eviction. Sarah's story was a heartbreaking one. She had lost her job due to unforeseen circumstances, struggled to make ends meet, and had fallen behind on her rent payments. The landlord, unforgiving and unrelenting, was determined to put Sarah and her children out on the streets. As Ethan delved into Sarah's case, he couldn't help but be deeply moved by her plight. He visited her tiny, dilapidated apartment, where he saw the stark reality of her life. It was a stark contrast to the world of privilege he had grown up in. and it served as a stark reminder of the injustices that lurked beneath the surface of the city. Ethan worked tirelessly on Sarah's case, leaving no stone unturned in his pursuit of justice. He gathered evidence, negotiated with the landlord, and made impassioned pleas in court. It was a grueling battle, but he was determined to give Sarah and her children a fighting chance. As the days turned into weeks and the legal battles raged on, Ethan developed a deep bond with Sarah and her children. He witnessed their resilience in the face of adversity, their unwavering love for each other, and their unbreakable spirit. Sarah's children, despite the uncertainty that loomed over them, radiated hope and optimism. Then, one day, a breakthrough came. Through his diligent efforts, Ethan managed to secure Sarah and her children a stable place to live. It was a monumental victory, one that filled him with a profound sense of accomplishment and purpose. As he saw the tears of gratitude in Sarah's eyes, he realized the true power of his work, the ability to change the course of someone's life for the better. Chapter 4 marked a transformative moment in Ethan's journey. His dedication to Sarah's case had a ripple effect on his own life. The non-profit organization recognized his exceptional commitment and offered him a full-time position. Ethan's transformation was not just professional, it was personal. He had discovered the depth of his empathy, the strength of his resolve, and the fulfillment that came from making a real difference in the lives of others. As he continued his work in social justice, Ethan carried Sarah's story with him as a reminder of the impact one person could have on another's life. Chapter 4 was a testament to the transformative power of compassion and the profound change that could occur when one person decided to stand up for what was right, no matter the odds. Little did he know that more challenges and opportunities for transformation lay ahead as he continued his journey down the path less traveled.
Chapter 5: The Realization. With Sarah's case behind him, Ethan's journey in the non-profit sector continued to evolve. It was during this chapter of his life that he experienced a profound realization about the true nature of his work and the impact it had on the lives of those he served. As he delved deeper into his role at the non-profit organization, Ethan began to understand that the battles he fought were not isolated incidents but part of a much larger and systemic issue. He saw that the injustices faced by Sarah and others were not isolated incidents but symptoms of a broader problem, one rooted in inequality, discrimination, and a flawed system. Ethan's realization was twofold. First, he recognized that while his victories in individual cases were important and life-changing for those involved, they were merely drops in the ocean of social injustice. The system itself needed reform, and he felt a growing responsibility to advocate for change on a larger scale. Second, he understood the importance of empathy and storytelling in creating awareness and inspiring action. Ethan began to document the stories of the people he helped, sharing them through various media channels. He believed that by humanizing the struggles of those on the margins of society, he could rally support for broader social reform. One of the key moments of realization came during a community outreach event organized by the nonprofit. Ethan and his colleagues spent a day volunteering at a local shelter, serving meals to the homeless. Interacting with individuals who had fallen through the cracks of society left a profound impact on Ethan. He saw the resilience, dignity, and humanity in each person they served, dispelling stereotypes and prejudices that society often harbored. Ethan's growing realization was that his work was not just about legal battles, it was about changing hearts and minds, challenging the status quo, and striving for a more just and equitable society. He began to collaborate with advocacy groups, policymakers, and community leaders to address the root causes of the issues he encountered daily. Chapter 5 was a pivotal moment in Ethan's journey. It marked his transition from being solely a legal advocate to becoming a voice for social change. His work became more than a job, it was a mission to create a better world for those who had been marginalized and oppressed. Ethan's realization was that his journey was not just about winning cases, it was about the ongoing pursuit of justice, the tireless effort to dismantle systemic inequalities, and the unwavering commitment to making the world a fairer place for all. As he continued down this path, he knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but his realization had solidified his purpose, and he was determined to see it through.
Chapter 6: The Sacrifice. Ethan's journey in the non-profit sector had reached a point where his commitment to social justice had become deeply ingrained in his identity. Yet, this chapter would reveal that the pursuit of justice often came at a significant personal cost, requiring sacrifices that would test his resolve and reshape his life in profound ways. One of the most tangible sacrifices Ethan faced was financial. His meager salary from the non-profit organization had always been a challenge, but as he became more deeply involved in advocacy and reform work, it became increasingly apparent that financial stability would remain a distant goal. He cut back on all unnecessary expenses, living a modest lifestyle that focused solely on essentials. Ethan's decision to forego financial comfort and luxury for the sake of his work was not without its difficulties. He watched friends from law school climb the corporate ladder, enjoying extravagant vacations, lavish dinners, and all the trappings of success. He, on the other hand, often struggled to make ends meet, unable to indulge in the material pleasures his peers enjoyed. However, what he lacked in material wealth, he gained in a profound sense of fulfillment and purpose. He saw the impact of his work every day as he helped marginalized communities access justice and advocated for systemic change. His satisfaction came not from material possessions but from knowing that he was part of something greater than himself, a movement to rectify the imbalances and injustices that plagued society. The sacrifices extended beyond finances. Ethan's work demanded long hours and an emotional toll that was sometimes difficult to bear. He faced frustration when he encountered resistance from those who resisted change, and he carried the weight of the struggles of the people he represented. It was a heavy burden to shoulder, but he knew that it was a burden he willingly accepted. One of the most significant sacrifices, however, was time. As Ethan dedicated himself wholeheartedly to the pursuit of justice, he found himself with less and less time for personal pursuits and relationships. His social life dwindled, and he missed out on important events and gatherings with friends and family. His relentless schedule meant that his personal life took a backseat to his work. Chapter 6 was a chapter of sacrifice, where Ethan learned that the path to justice often required personal compromises. It was a chapter where he saw the value of what he had given up in exchange for what he had gained, the knowledge that he was making a tangible difference in the lives of those who needed it most.
As he continued to walk the path less traveled, Ethan understood that true dedication to a cause meant being willing to make sacrifices, big and small. His journey was not without challenges and personal losses, but it was one that affirmed his commitment to creating a more just and equitable world.
Chapter 7: The Legacy. Ethan's journey had brought him to a point where the sum of his experiences, sacrifices, and achievements had transformed him into a beacon of hope and change within the world of social justice. As Chapter 7 unfolded, it became evident that he was not just writing his own story but contributing to a lasting legacy that would resonate far beyond his own lifetime. Throughout his years in the nonprofit sector, Ethan's unwavering commitment and tireless efforts had garnered respect not only from his colleagues but also from the wider community. He had become a respected advocate for social justice, known for his passion, integrity, and effectiveness in creating change. The impact of his work had rippled through the lives of countless individuals and communities. Families had been saved from eviction, exploited workers had received fair treatment, and immigrants had found their path to legal status. But more than that, Ethan had been instrumental in bringing about systemic change. His advocacy efforts had contributed to the reform of policies that protected the rights of marginalized communities, and addressed the root causes of social injustices. As Chapter 7 unfolded, Ethan began to understand the concept of legacy. He realized that his work had transcended the boundaries of his individual efforts and had become part of a broader movement for justice. His legacy was not just the cases he had won or the policies he had influenced, it was the inspiration he had ignited in others. Ethan had mentored and inspired a new generation of social justice advocates, imparting his knowledge, values, and passion for change. He had built bridges between diverse communities, fostering cooperation and understanding. His commitment to empathy and storytelling had touched hearts and minds, shifting public perception and fostering a culture of empathy and inclusion. Beyond the immediate impact of his work, Ethan's legacy was a testament to the enduring power of one individual to effect change. His story became a source of inspiration for others facing similar crossroads in their lives, unsure of whether to choose the path less traveled or the more conventional route. In Chapter 7, Ethan had come to understand that true legacy was not about wealth or fame, it was about leaving the world a better place than he had found it. His legacy was measured in the lives he had touched, the injustices he had challenged, and the hope he had kindled. As he looked back on his journey, Ethan knew that his work was far from over. The road ahead might still be fraught with challenges, but he had forged a legacy that would continue to inspire change long after he was gone. In choosing the path less traveled, Ethan had not only transformed his own life, but had left an indelible mark on the world, reminding us all of the profound impact one person can have when they are driven by a sense of purpose and a commitment to justice.
Ethan's story serves as a poignant reminder that life's choices should not be solely driven by the pursuit of material wealth and conventional notions of success. In a world that often places a premium on financial gain and personal achievement, his journey offers a powerful testament to the significance of forging a path less traveled, a path marked by purpose, empathy, and the desire to make a tangible impact on the lives of others. In a society where success is frequently equated with high-paying careers, grand titles, and material possessions, Ethan's choice to prioritize social justice over financial gains challenges the prevailing narrative. It encourages us to re-evaluate our own values and aspirations, urging us to consider the profound difference we can make when we align our actions with a greater sense of purpose. Ethan's story underscores the transformative power of compassion and selflessness. Through his work in the non-profit sector, he discovered that true fulfillment arises not from the accumulation of personal wealth, but from the ability to alleviate the suffering of others, to stand up against injustice, and to champion the rights of the marginalized. His journey serves as an embodiment of the age-old adage, "It's not about the destination, it's about the journey." Ethan's path less traveled was fraught with challenges, sacrifices, and uncertainty, but it was also marked by moments of profound personal growth, resilience, and unwavering dedication to a cause greater than himself. Ethan's story encourages us to examine our own choices and priorities. It prompts us to consider the impact of our decisions not only on our own lives, but also on the world around us. It challenges us to look beyond the superficial markers of success and ask ourselves what truly matters, not just in terms of personal satisfaction, but in terms of our contribution to a more just, compassionate, and equitable society. In a world where the pursuit of individual gain often takes precedence, Ethan's story serves as a beacon of inspiration, reminding us that the path less traveled is not just an alternative, but a powerful choice. It beckons us to embrace lives filled with purpose, empathy, and the unwavering belief that we can indeed make a real difference in the lives of others, shaping a better world for ourselves and future generations.